So the past 8 weeks, we've been a part of a program called Community Media and Possibility, a cohort of 15 people. Some were media professionals, and some were folks in the community who had an interest in media.
I was just so amazed at how much trust and space we all held for each other.
I've never experienced so much vulnerability in my life. I've never experienced transparency with strangers that I feel like are friends now. They're just convoluted assumptions that are tossed on a demographic of individuals that happen to create a community without getting to know that person for who they are. And the problem with that is that we miss out on the essence of someone. We miss out on getting to know who they are.
In that cycle, I guess, of a single story, there's also not much room for listening and not much room for curiosity. So we are stuck kind of believing our single story. And we we do perpetuate that, and we don't really leave much room for this exploration to learn or to grow or to really connect with other people.
It's really important for us to think about how we tell stories so that we can kind of stop that cycle.
We kind of operate in this world of sound bites and lack of attention and just being, multitasking with everything. So it's like, do I need to read the article? Can I just read the headline? Like, am I gonna formulate like my opinion based off of those like 6 words? Sure, yeah, that works. That's all I have time for.
When I think of my single story, I think more from an affirmative action viewpoint and just being like the Black kid and the only person of color in my classes at time. I'm just sort of having to be a representative of my heritage and my makeup. And as I've gotten older, it's come to my attention that that's not necessarily my responsibility.
I hate hearing, the single stories of, deeply personal things that I've been through and being categorized in 1, 2, 3 words. That like tears me to pieces.
Another local example of a single story that Anchorage likes to tell itself, is Anchorage is the most diverse city in the country, right? And exactly. So we've all heard this for years and years and years. And while it may be true, it's not reflected in employment. It's not reflected in who's teaching our students. It's not reflected in so many levels of society in Anchorage.
I remember listening to the college radio station since I was like 13, 14 years old, and I never thought I'd be in charge of it. And it was very white when I was growing up. I was able to bring all these students together that might not have necessarily participated at the station beforehand by asking them what do they want to do, what type of stories do they want to tell, and how they want to participate, and not projecting what I think their experience needs to be. And I think sometimes when it comes to single story narrative, it goes back to that assumption.
At the beginning kind of the fellowship, I thought like, okay, maybe I work with filmmakers and podcasters, like maybe that's how I can have an impact. But then actually my work with students is where I feel like I have the most potential impact.
There's so much power in media, and there's so much potential in media, and there's a lot of responsibility in media because of all that power.
And it really felt like during all of those discussions, we were supporting each other and kind of thinking about our lives.
Being open to receiving and then giving, and then vice versa.
I was just so amazed at how much trust and space we all held for each other. And it was like we were kind of invited to this reflective space of thinking about our lives and thinking about our experiences, but also like yeah, a very encouraging space too. This space of possibility of like, where can we go from here? How do we support each other?